Hello everyone, it's Charles and Silver with Love Dare Day number 29.
And day 29 says, love's motivation.
Our scripture is Ephesians 6 and 7. Render service with a good attitude, as to the Lord and not to men.
Oh, an attitude always determines your altitude. Yeah, so they say.
So they say. Sometimes when we're with our spouse, it's kind of difficult to have inspiration to demonstrate love. And even they may not receive it when you're trying to give it.
And what I said, what is given is not always received, which can be very demotivational. So, when you're dealing with your spouse sometimes and you're trying to be motivated and they're being deflated, it can be demotivating to you, but you still just have to keep on keeping on. Keep that attitude up.
It says moods and emotions can create all kinds of moving motivational targets.
Oh, okay.
One is certain to stay in the same place all the time. When God is your reason for loving, your ability to love is guaranteed.
But that goes to show again that there has to be something outside of what you think you have just within yourself that gives you a boundary, that gives you a foundation for the love that you need to show to your spouse. Because some stuff's going to happen that's going to just be flat demotivating to you. Then what are you going to do?
I think you like that word, demotivating.
Demotivated.
The instance that they give here in the book is that when we were children, our parents had certain rules we had to follow. You had your bedtime. You had to keep your room semi-clean. Your mom could at least walk through it. And most of us, we bent them more often than when we actually followed them.
About 50-50, at least. But you'll find that even in your relationships, you'll find yourself kind of bending those motivational rules, and I want to be motivated. That's why I always worry about people say, I don't need any motivation. And when they say that, I say, well, you look like you need some right now. If you're so motivated, it's the love of God, it's the love for Christ that motivates us oftentimes when we may not be motivated by our spouse's reaction or response to what we call giving our all.
But we all know that most of us grew up in Sunday school, and that scripture that our parents loved to quote, Colossians 3 and 20. Children, be obedient to your parents in all things, for this is well-pleasing to the Lord. And if you look at that, it's not so much that you're obedient to your parents just to be obedient to your parents. You're obedient to your parents because it pleases God.
And that becomes your barometer. Am I pleasing God? Because you really go from, am I pleasing self, man, and God? And oftentimes self and man get in the way interchangeably, but we always seem to sometimes put either one of those two before God, and God comes third in this whole situation. But if you say, am I pleasing God first, then self and man lines up even if they're not happy. Because the pleasure that God has in our obedience begins to bring us into new realities and helps us maintain our present relationship.
That's good. They give us a few areas that we should make our goal in pleasing Him, and one of them is work.
Right? Do your work heartily, as for the Lord rather than for men, Colossians 3:23.
And then there's service.
Obey those who are your masters on earth, not with external service as those who merely please men, but with sincerity of heart, fearing the Lord. That's Colossians 3:22.
And another area is everything.
Work hard at whatever you do, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance. It is the Lord Christ whom you serve. That's Colossians 3:23-24.
And even marriage.
Wives, be subject to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Colossians 3:18. But it also says, husbands, love your wives, just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself up for her. And that's Ephesians 5:25.
And I like what they say right here. It says that the love that's demanded from you in marriage is not dependent on your mate's sweetness or suitability, The love between a husband and a wife should have one chief objective: honoring the Lord with devotion and sincerity. And the fact that it blesses your spouse is just an added wonderful benefit.
And it hit me, I said, clarity of marriage through Christ. So that means that we have the clarity of our relationship through actually having a relationship with Jesus Christ. And thereby satisfying the relationship with Him automatically puts us in right standing to have an effectual relationship with our spouse.
And I like this one too. There's so much in this one. No longer is it this imperfect person who decides how much love you'll show, but rather it is your omniperfect God who can use even a flawed person like yourself to bestow loving favor on another.
You know, we talked about perfection today in church, and what we looked at was that continuous perfection is impossible. But we strive for perfection continuously. And every now and then we will find that we have perfection in one or two areas of our lives. But we can't expect to be continuously perfect in our pursuit to have a relationship. It has to be through that making up of what, like as we should say in the frat, do thy duty, that is best, and leave unto the Lord the rest. And the rest helps us be perfect through Christ.
Wow. And then it says that we should love as to the Lord. Even when your husband is like doing things and you're like, man, why is he doing that? You know?
And after it says, love motivated by mere duty cannot hold out for very long. I tell you what, you get mad enough, duty will go by the way.
Yes.
Well, I can't say that. I won't say duty. Feels like some duty. So anyway.
Don't say that.
I did not say that.
And love that is only motivated by favorable conditions can never be assured of sufficient oxygen to keep it breathing. Only love lifted up as an offering to God, returned to Him in gratitude for all that He's done, is able to sustain itself when all other reasons have lost their ability to energize us.
That's because love will run out of air. I said humans' love doesn't have the strength or longevity that God's love has.
Wow.
And you need that strength and longevity, because I can guarantee you, just like you'll get tired of working, of running, of thinking, of anything, you'll get tired of loving your spouse if they make you mad.
That's the truth. But the thing about it is we want to love as to the Lord.
That's right.
Those who are fine with the mediocre marriages can leave their love to chance and hope for the best. But if you're committed to giving your spouse the best love you possibly can, you need to shoot for love's highest motivation. Love that has God as its primary focus is unlimited in the heights it can attain.
And that is exciting. Unlimited love.
Unlimited.
All right, and I'll tell you that today's dare is, before you see your spouse again today, pray for them by name and for their needs. Whether it comes easy for you or not, say, I love you. Then express love to them in some tangible way. Go to God in prayer again, thanking Him for giving you the privilege of loving this one special person unconditionally the way He loves both of you.
All right.
And tomorrow's Love Dare Devotional Day 30 is
Love brings unity.
That's the 2-2-1. All right, hey. We've enjoyed it. You know, we just love it. Come on out to strikingconversations.com. Go ahead, get logged in, get registered, jump online with us, just join in with us in every way. If you hit us on Facebook, be sure to put a comment out there and send and share it with a friend. We love you.
Love you.